Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Y&R, spoilers 3 weeks ahead, Noah's Awakening. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, October 17th, suggest some bombshells in Genoa City. 2 siblings clear the air, while someone searches for answers, and a character gets a painful reminder about their past. What's on the horizon for Friday's show? Time to find out. The Abbott boys clear the air. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, October 17th. Hint that Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, will clear the air with Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. This is great news, but could also mean that Jack will agree to fund Abbott Communications once again. Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, offered to invest in the company. However, she specifically told Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, not to mention anything to Billy. With that said, Sally didn't want to have secrets in her relationship, so she did confide in her boyfriend. Billy seemed adamant that he didn't want his mom as an investor, considering their past when working together. So he turned to Jack and tried to convince him to overturn his decision to withdraw funds? The Abbott family has always stood at the heart of Genoa City's most compelling drama, and now, The Young and the Restless delivers another emotional and unforgettable chapter as the Abbott boys, Jack, Billy, and Kyle, finally clear the air after years of tension, misunderstanding, and deeply rooted pain. This isn't just another family argument. It's a raw and heartfelt confrontation that shakes the foundation of both the Abbott family and Jabot Cosmetics. The walls of the Abbott mansion echo with truth, regret, and long overdue honesty as 3 generations of Abbotts come together to face everything they've been avoiding. For decades, the Abbott name has been synonymous with success, ambition, and family loyalty, but it's also been shadowed by rivalry, betrayal, and heartbreak. From John Abbott's moral compass to Jack's leadership, Billy's rebellion, and Kyle's ambition, the family legacy has been a constant balancing act between love and power. Now, with emotions running high, the Abbott men must decide whether they'll continue to let pride divide them or finally build a new foundation based on understanding and forgiveness. The story begins quietly, with Jack Abbott taking a long look around the Abbott living room, the space that holds memories of his father's lessons, his family's triumphs, and their deepest losses. As the head of the Abbott family and the steady hand guiding Jabot, Jack has carried the burden of responsibility for decades. But lately, the weight has become too much. Between corporate betrayals, family infighting, and a constant battle to protect the Abbott legacy, Jack finds himself exhausted. He knows that if something doesn't change soon, the Abbotts could lose everything. Not just the company, but each other. So he does something that's both brave and painful. He calls Billy and Kyle home for a family meeting. Billy arrives first, restless as ever, wearing that familiar mix of charm and defiance. His history with Jack is complicated. Years of brotherly love tangled with competition, resentment, and unspoken hurt. Billy feels like he's always had to prove himself, not just to Jabot, but as a man worthy of the Abbott name. His impulsive nature and risky decisions have made him the family wild card, but beneath the chaos lies a desperate desire for acceptance and respect. Jack loves Billy fiercely, but his frustration with his brother's unpredictability has built an emotional wall between them. Kyle enters last, his expression guarded but determined. As Jack's son and Billy's nephew, he spent years caught in the middle of their constant tug-of-war. Kyle has fought hard to step out from his father's shadow and establish himself as a capable leader in his own right. Yet, despite his professional success, he can't escape the feeling that he'll never be seen as more than Jack's son. The recent chaos at Jabot, mixed with personal heartbreak, has left Kyle questioning his future, both in business and within the Abbott family itself. The tension is thick as they sit down, the silence saying everything words can't. Jack begins slowly, his tone heavy but sincere. He admits that things have got out of control at Jabot, in their relationships, and in their lives. He confesses that he's made mistakes trying to control everything, trying to hold on to the family's legacy so tightly that he may have suffocated the people he loves most. Billy listens, but doesn't hide his skepticism. He fires back that Jack's version of protecting the family often means making decisions without considering anyone else's feelings. He reminds Jack of all the times he's been shut out or treated like a problem, to be managed instead of a partner. For Billy, the pain runs deep. It's about more than business. It's about identity. He feels like he spent his whole life trying to earn Jack's approval, only be reminded time and again that he'll never measure up. Kyle jumps in, his voice calm but edged with emotion. He tells them that their fighting has affected him more than they realize. Watching his father and uncle tear each other apart has left him feeling like he doesn't belong anywhere. He's tired of being forced to pick sides, tired of living under the shadow of expectations that he can't meet. For the first time, Kyle speaks open about how lonely it feels to be an Abbott, to be surrounded by success and wealth, yet constantly burdened by family conflict. The conversation grows heated as old wounds resurface, betrayals, business power plays, and unresolved pain stretching back decades. They argue about Jabot, about loyalty, about who really understands what John Abbott's legacy stands for. But beneath the shouting and frustration lies something more powerful: love. Because no matter how angry they get, none of them truly wants to walk away. When emotions finally boil over, it's Jack who breaks the cycle. He tells his brother and son that he's tired of living in the past, tired of letting pride destroy what their father built. He recalls something John once told him, that being an Abbott isn't about winning or being right. It's about integrity, compassion, and family. Those words hang in the air, quiet but powerful, breaking through the noise. Billy, moved but still conflicted, admits that part of him has always been jealous. Jealous of Jack's strength, his steadiness, and his ability to lead. But he also admits that he's tired of being angry. He doesn't want to be at war anymore. Kyle, hearing both men open up, feels something shift inside him. For the first time, he sees them not as figures he needs to impress or compete with, but as flawed men doing their best to hold a family together. He apologizes for his own mistakes, his ego, his impatience, his moments of disloyalty. What happens next is one of the most touching scenes The Young and the Restless has delivered in years. Jack stands, walks over to his brother and son, and tells them that no matter how much they've hurt each other, they are still family. The three men share an embrace that feels like a long time coming, years of anger melting into forgiveness. For fans, it's a cathartic moment. The Abbott boys, long divided by pride and pain, are finally united again. The aftermath of this emotional confrontation will ripple throughout Genoa City. For Jack, it marks a turning point. He begins to see that leadership isn't just about control, it's about trust. He realizes he doesn't have to carry the Abbott name alone. Billy, renewed by the conversation, starts to rediscover his sense of purpose. He's no longer driven by resentment, but by a desire to contribute meaningfully to the family and to Jabot. Kyle, meanwhile, gains confidence in his own identity, free from the constant pressure of living up to Jack's expectations. He starts to see himself as not just an Abbott by name, but by strength, integrity, and love. This storyline isn't just about the Abbotts. It's about family in its purest form. It's about fathers and sons, brothers and rivals, learning that forgiveness is the only way forward. It's about breaking cycles of pride and pain to make room for understanding. For longtime viewers, it's a reminder of what makes The Young and the Restless timeless. The show thrives on emotional realism, the messy, beautiful truth that family can wound us more deeply than anyone else, yet also heal us in ways no one else can. Social media has exploded with reactions to the Abbott storyline. Fans are praising the emotional depth, the performances, and the writing that captures the raw humanity of the characters. Viewers say the scenes between Jack, Billy, and Kyle feel real, earned, and long overdue. Many are calling it one of the most powerful family-driven episodes in years, a return to the kind of emotional storytelling that made Y&R a legend in the soap world. The Abbott mansion now feels different, a little lighter, a little warmer. The ghosts of old arguments still linger, but so does hope. The next morning, Jack stands by the window, looking out over the Abbott estate, reflecting on how far they've come. Billy enters, holding 2 cups of coffee, and cracks a small smile. Kyle joins him a few moments later, ready to face the day. There are no grand speeches, no dramatic exits, just 3 men sharing a quiet, genuine moment of peace. That's what makes it so powerful. This truce doesn't mean the Abbotts will stop facing challenges. Far from it. There will still be corporate drama, personal struggles, and inevitable storms that come with being an Abbott. But now they're stronger. They've faced the truth and survived it. They've cleared the air, and in doing so, they've rediscovered what it means to be a family. For Jack, Billy, and Kyle, this is an ending. It's a new beginning. The Abbott boys have proven that no matter how deep the wounds, love and loyalty will always bring them back together. In the ever-turbulent world of Genoa City, one truth remains unshakable. The Abbotts are and always will be the beating heart of the young and the restless.